Welcome back. The number one question I get asked all the time is how do you find gluten-free restaurants while you're traveling? If you're someone who struggles to find gluten-free restaurants, especially while traveling, this video is for you. Today I am sharing my top 4 strategies on how to find the best and delicious celiac-safe restaurants. Hi, I'm Sarah. In 2021, I was diagnosed with celiac disease at 23 years old. I had a really hard time processing this major life change, and I thought I couldn't do the things I really loved anymore, like traveling. But I've been determined to continue to live life to the fullest, and since my diagnosis, I've been able to travel to over 20 countries and counting. Now I plan on traveling all around the world and finding the best gluten-free food along the way. So up first is Atli, which is the newest gluten-free map on the block. They're great because they have a bunch of different filters, including celiac safe, dedicated fryer, filtering by different meals, and it is built by the community and moderated to make sure that the gluten-free restaurants are accurate. The community is growing quickly. I live in Chicago and I'm adding all of my gluten-free restaurants to the map every week. For example, I just added smoked barbecue to the map after visiting last week. It came highly recommended by my celiac friends and I had an amazing experience there. I immediately let the staff know that I have celiac disease and they immediately got the manager. I was able to speak with him and had a great conversation about cross contact. Basically all of the meats there are gluten-free and the sauces, so I really got to enjoy everything safely. Oh, I forgot to mention they also have a dedicated fryer, so I was able to have delicious fries and like a whole barbecue meal. Honestly, it was so good, so I'm so happy to have added that on the Atli map. Atli has cities from all over the world on the map, and we are growing the map together as a community day by day. It is so exciting to see the number of restaurants on there grow and just be a better resource for all of us. So if you want to give it a try, my link down below is to a 7-day free trial for the map. I've recently partnered with them and I've really enjoyed my personal experience on the map, especially for gluten-free travel planning. We know getting gluten-free restaurants planned for a trip is a bit tricky, so this has been such a great resource for me. So second up, we have FindMe Gluten-Free, which is another gluten-free map app. I've personally used this one the longest, ever since I've been diagnosed. I have used this map for travel planning and even put my own restaurant recommendations in there. There is a free version of the app and there's a paid version. I personally have the paid version just because it has great resources like little filters for dedicated gluten-free restaurants so that when you're looking on the map, you can see, okay, green means dedicated gluten-free, and then I think there's a gray version, which means people really don't recommend this place. Since this app has been around for a very long time, there are a reputable number of restaurants on there and a lot of great reviews. However, because this particular app has been around the longest, sometimes you'll find a restaurant that has really old reviews, say from 2015, and now that it's 2023, almost 2024, that's less applicable because that was almost 10 years ago, so it might not have the most up-to-date information, but it still has a lot of great reviews and great information on there. I am definitely still going to use it to cross-check information. It's just great to have a bunch of tools in our toolkit. Up next is social media. There is a lot of great information out there, and I know I personally am definitely searching on engines like TikTok and Instagram because there's a lot of gluten-free creators that share wonderful tips. Including myself, I always share all my gluten-free finds over there, so if you're not following already, definitely go check me out. One example of how I use social media to plan my gluten-free travel tips and get restaurant recommendations is just searching in the search bar gluten-free blank, whatever city or country that I'm visiting. For this example, I'm going to Korea soon, so I have been searching gluten-free Seoul and finding good recommendations on there. It's really fun to see a picture or a video that the apps usually don't have. There are options for pictures and videos, but in Instagram and TikTok, it's really fun to see the food that you're gonna eat. On my page, you'll be able to find restaurant recommendations sprinkled basically everywhere. It's one of my favorite things to do and favorite things to share. You can find this on my story highlights, those little bubbles with different names at the bottom of different countries usually. You can click in there and find the different restaurants. Also on my page, you can find the static posts. I usually post a bunch of different restaurant dumps, as well as short form videos, whether on Instagram or TikTok, about my gluten-free experience at that restaurant. And up fourth is Google. It is a classic search engine that honestly, I don't use all the time because the 3 resources that I listed before this are my go-tos and usually the best options. Google does have some hidden gems sometimes, but I'll only personally use it in situations where I really can't find anything on Atli, FindMe Gluten-Free, or social media. And honestly, this is rare, but there was one instance where we were flying home from Vietnam and we had a stopover in Thailand. And basically the whole travel day was going very poorly. While we were in the Bangkok airport and searched gluten-free restaurants near me, and there was a new gluten-free vegan restaurant literally 5 miles away from the airport. So we entered the country, hopped in an Uber, and then ate a delicious meal that really fueled me for the long haul flight home. So grateful that we did that and that Google was able to show me a great gluten-free restaurant. And these 4 strategies are just different tools in your tool belt, and I'm so happy that they are continuing to grow and be a good resource. But always remember, just because you read a good review online does not mean that that restaurant is definitely going to be great when you go visit. So you have to make sure you're doing your due diligence and asking all the questions that you need to ask when you visit yourself. So yeah, I hope that helps. I use all of those strategies just when I'm travel planning or when I'm living in Chicago and want to visit a new restaurant. Do you use any other strategies? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe this video if you enjoyed it at all. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.